Okay. All right. Good evening. I believe we have some people. Please, for me to know you are here, kindly drop a chat. Just maybe just a greeting. You can send a greeting, a hi, hello. I want to know those who are available. It's a marathon reading section. We are going 2 hours straight. Good evening at Big Eva. Good evening. I think Madu Abuchi Joy. You're welcome. It's going to be a very long section. Like we are into marathon reading, and this is all you need for exam. The way we are going to approach this reading tonight will be a professional method so that after this section, you may not need to read the aspect of the material that we are studying tonight. Again, it's going to be strictly reading. And the way we are going to do it, please, if you are here, if you are just joining, just send a message. I need to know those who are here. So I won't just, I know that we are 5 online now. I believe that more people will join. I'm not really after the population. I just want us to start this. I think this initiative came up as a result of something I've been through before when I was in school then. There is this man they call Dr. Ken Katas that normally come to my school. So he takes us through marathon reading. You have to read for 7 hours for 30 days, non-stop, 7 hours daily for 30 days. And then, from that first month, you extend it to 2 months and then 3 months. So that really helped us during any exam that we're to write then. So we're starting tonight with, it's 11 already, so we can start now. We're starting with GST 101. And just to remind us the skill of reading for e-exams that I revealed to those that attended a closed meeting we held some time back, I think last week. We are going to adopt that method tonight. Please, every one of you will need to open. Okay, let's just use my own. I know that some of us are not using Premium YouTube, so if you minimize the YouTube, it's likely not going to work. Please, I need you guys to comment if you can see my screen, please. I'm sharing my screen. I believe that the screen is visible, and if you can hear my voice, please help me drop it in the comment section so we'll start the reading section. If you can hear me, let me know. Don't be discouraged. We'll start as soon as I get feedback from you guys. Just help me drop it in the comment section. Okay, you are seeing it, and that means my voice is audible since you responded. All right, so let's go to the reading. Let's go to the reading. And I think we're starting with just 101. So this reading will take this mode. I will start from Unit 1. That is what we are going to dwell on. This is purely reading, nothing but reading. So this introduction, we take it like 3 or 4 times or even more until we're able to digest. Although this introduction is really not having much points that we need to take. If you remember what I reviewed during the section on how to read for e-exams, you find out that uh, what I said there is that you don't need to read every jargon in the material. You just need to focus on the most important thing, the main points in each uh, paragraph or in each section or division of the material you are reading. And that's what we're going to be using tonight. So we are going to dwell here until we chew, digest, and know just everything that is being said in this particular aspect of the material. You may have to take it like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. That is reading. Basically, we are going to do this. Sometimes we are going to use Zoom meeting because I want to monitor everybody. So this will not always hold on YouTube. Sometimes we use Zoom meeting so that I can see what everybody is doing. You have to read. This is a section that I want to make sure you read for exam. And I believe we are going to have a result. So let's start with this introduction part. You are welcome to this unit, excuse me, entitled Listening Enabling Skills. In this unit, you will be exposed to who a learner is, which means in this unit, when we are done tonight, I should know who a learner is, exactly how the material describes it. So when I see it in the exam, it should be very obvious to me that, oh, this question is asking me a learner. So I should be able to say, okay, the answer is a learner. So this introduction is only opening your eyes to what will I meet in this unit that I'm about to read tonight. And then other things you will learn in this unit is why the learner must listen and what he or she should listen to. The listening enabling skills that you need to function effectively in the programs you enrolled in will then be unfolded to you. As you go through this unit, have with you a pen, a paper, and just ignore the rest of that part. We don't need it again. So once again, I will take this. This is how to read. Even when you are reading on your own, make sure for e-exam, I'm not talking of POP. When we get to POP students, the method will change. But for e-exam, reading once is not enough. Your first reading should be like scanning the material. You skim it after that, and then start the slow reading. Although I have taken it slowly already in this first reading to help you understand that we are going to know the meaning we are going to study. So I'm going to take it again. Read with me now. You are welcome to this unit entitled Listening Enabling Skills. In this unit, you'll be exposed to who a learner is, why the learner must listen, and what he or she should listen to. The listening enabling skills you need to function effectively in the programs you enrolled in will then be unfolded to you. As you go through this unit, have with you a pen, a paper, a tape recorder, and you can ignore. So we'll take the objectives now. So far, so good. The picture created is that this unit, every one of us here tonight, when we see any question on listening, sorry, not listening, on who a learner is, we should be able to answer it. When we see any coming out on why the learner must listen, we should be able to answer it. And when we see any question on what learner listen to, we should be able to answer. So the beauty is that After tonight, even in your dreams, when you ask who is the learner, you should be able to say it. Why is it necessary for a learner to listen? You should be able to answer it. And then, what are the things a learner listen to? You should be able to answer it. So let's go to the objectives. At the end of this unit, this is purely reading. We're actually reading. So don't think it's going to be a lecture. I'm not lecturing you. We have done lecture on this one, on this particular part of the material several times. This one is reading now. You want to read it to see how it is in the material. No long explanation, just reading. We are focused on what is in the material because this is what they will ask me in the exam. So even if explanation is so much, if you dwell on explanation in e-exam, you are aiming for 0 for F9. So let's please, I hope you guys can still hear me clearly because I'm seeing some error messages here. So let's go to the objective of this unit. I hope this error is not. Okay, all right, so we can continue. Someone says they can hear me. Now, the objectives that we are concerned about tonight, you should always be mindful of objectives in a unit because that is like a roadmap that tells you this place you want to study, this particular aspect of this material, this is what you need to know when you go through it. So when you are going through it, you bear in mind the objectives, which means have I met the goal of reading this unit at the end of the unit. So at the end of this unit, after we finish reading tonight, there are things you should be able to do, and not only do, but do them effectively. One is state clearly who a learner is. Determine the reason you must listen throughout the program. List the listening enabling skills and apply the listening enabling skills discussed while practicing some of the activities given in the unit. So we will not do much on objectives because that is just a roadmap. Now let's go to the main content, and this is where we start reading. We need to read this like several times until even it's very dull, we'll be able to grab it. I'm going to read several times, like just focus, read with me. What will happen after this is that every one of us here will know who a learner is. I have a simple answer for this question. You are that learner. Sorry, you are that listener. Sorry, the title is Who is a Listener? That is where we are trying to focus now. Who is a listener? And then the author of this material says, I have a simple answer for this question. You are that listener. Right now you are listening, and that's why you are able to respond when I say, can you hear me? Is my screen visible? You know, people were responding through the chat, and that is awesome. It means you were listening. So you are a listener. Right now you are a listener. You are a listener because listening is a compulsory day-to-day activity of the program. This is a very important point. That's why we said that when you are reading, you don't need to read the whole thing. But in this marathon reading section, we'll be reading the whole thing. The thing is, when you see important points like this, you pause, digest them. So that place is very important. So we'll take it over and over again. And if you are following now, I want you to type it in the chat section. Just type it directly like this, that you are a listener because listening is a compulsory day-to-day activity. That is where you stop. Everybody that is still active, please type it in the chat section. You are a listener because listening is a compulsory day-to-day activity. This is a question in the question bank. It's one of the questions they can ask you. It may come out this year, it may not come out, but know it. This is one of the questions we have in the question bank. So you are a listener because listening is a compulsory day-to-day activity. You are a listener because listening is a compulsory day-to-day activity. You are a listener because listening is a compulsory day-to-day activity. You are a listener because, so if they say, we listen because dash is a compulsory day-to-day activity, what will be your answer? If you are asked now that you listen because dash is a compulsory day-to-day activity, what will be your answer in that question when you meet it in the exam? You, where is it again? You listen because listening is you listen because dash is a compulsory day-to-day activity. What would be the answer? No, that is how they will cut out. Thank you. At Okorocha Mrian, she said listening. Big Eva too said listening. Thank you. You guys are following. So I think some are still typing the full sentence. It's okay. Once you are done, you can type the answer. So I already know this now. If I do not know anything else in this material yet, I know something now, that we listen because listening is a compulsory day-to-day activity. And I already know one question in non-question bank. I've digested this, I've read it. The sentence or the statement is now ringing in my head, in my heart. I've kind of, now you don't need to cram, you know it already, that we listen because listening is a compulsory day-to-day activity. Yes, thank you, Ibrahim. Listening, Grace, my class captain, you're welcome. Listening, that's correct. That is the answer. So I will take that again because we are here to read. Do not forget it's a marathon reading. So we'll take that again. I have a simple answer for this question. The question is, who is a listener? I have a simple answer for this question. You are that listener. You are a listener because listening is a compulsory day-to-day activity of the program. Although most of the time you will be reading, there will be occasions when you have to listen to a tape recorder, radio, television, or video in the program. You are likely going to attend lectures and meetings in the study center. You need the skill of listening accurately and to comprehend what is conveyed to you as information. That is why you need to go through this unit carefully. In a nutshell, in this whole paragraph, all I need to know and digest is that we listen because listening is a compulsory day-to-day activity. So in filling the blank spaces in that kind of question, when you see listen because listening is a compulsory dash activity, what are you going to write? Please, you can put the answer in the chat box. When you are asked in exam, you listen because listening is a compulsory dash activity. What will be the answer? Now you need to know how it is spelled here. Don't write they, then put two. Thank you, Ibrahim. Ibrahim is following. Day to day, exactly. That is how you should write it in the fill in the blank. So you don't write day and write two in figure as if you are chatting with your friend. It has to be like that, day to day activity. Fine. So let's leave that aspect. I know by now every one of us should know that we listen because listening is a compulsory day-to-day activity. Joy, is it Abuchi or Madubuchi? Your day-to-day is not spelt well. If you write it like that in the exam, they will score you down. The D is starting with small letter. So Okorocha Miriam, that is correct. And of course, Big Eva, you've written that before. Now let's read the second paragraph. We just finished reading paragraph 1. And in that paragraph 1, we pick out one simple, important statement that says you listen because listening is a compulsory day-to-day activity. Now we have one question stored in our brain already, which may be lucky that it may come out this semester. Now, as a listener, I cannot determine where you are now studying this unit. It may be in your home. Of course, we expect that we do expect that everyone should be in their home now because this is an odd hour. So your workplace, an isolated place, or even inside a vehicle taking you to a destination. Wherever you may be, there is something important about listening. We listen daily, moment by moment. There is just something you need to understand in this whole paragraph of who is a listener. The idea is that we listen every day. That is in summary. But summary will not work for e-exam. So I still need to understand the statement that is important there. I will say it for the last time now before we move to another thing that we'll be reading tonight. We listen because listening is a compulsory day-to-day activity. In the exam, when you see the question from this statement, let it ring in your mind that, oh, Sam was saying it that night. Then you recall it. So thank you all. Yes, Kemi Samuel, day to day. That's awesome. Now we will go to another thing. We've picked out the important thing there. Now there is this self-assessment. For what we've read, I want you guys to answer those two questions in the chat box. One is, who is a listener? Who is a listener? That is the first question. Let me give us 2 minutes to do that. Type your answer in the chat box. Who is a listener? It's a very short answer if you remember what we've just finished reading now. Very short. Who is a listener? So I won't tell us the answer yet. Write your answer in the chat box. Then the question 2. Yes, Oko Chamerian, thank you. I am a listener. Fine, that is a very short answer, and that is the answer. Everybody is a listener. Right now, you are a listener. So the second question is, okay, Abuchi. Let me just be saying Abuchi Joy. Yes, you are correct. I am a listener. The second question says, why do you listen? What do you listen to? Now, this, what you listen to, we have not done it. It's just an assessment to know if you can come up with something. But if you cannot come up with something, we'll soon enter into what we listen to. But the first question is important because you've done it in the previous paragraph that we just finished. Okay, we have Ibrahim, I am a listener. Big Eva says, I'm a listener because listening is a compulsory. Now you went extra mile. That is okay. Sule Grace, I'm a listener. And then Yetunde says, I'm a listener. You are all correct. You guys are really following. You're already passing your exams like this. Now, if you have done the above self-assessment exercise very well, you probably must have written down answers such as that indicated below. Now, this is another important point. We've entered another paragraph and they've been giving us stories and stories. But here is what is important in this paragraph. Don't forget that when you are reading for e-exam, you are concerned about the main points in each unit or each paragraph you set your eyes to read. So you are not reading for you to understand and summarize. You are reading for you to know the exact thing that is in the material, and of course, I think, you see, I'm out of power and I won't take a break. Let's just continue like this. So, all right, so they are even giving me answers to the second question already. But let's go to important thing. You've learned one important thing now. I believe those that are jotting down should have written this down by now, that we listen, because listening is a compulsory day-to-day activity. You have one question out of the 70 questions you are likely to answer already through that statement. Now, another thing is a listener. Now we're going to something else, which is another important thing you have to bear in mind. We are going to read it several times until we digest it. Now, we want to know the meaning of a listener. You know, you've known the general view of who a listener is by saying you yourself, you are that listener. You understand? That is just like a layman construction. But who is a listener? We've answered the question of why do we listen in the first paragraph. If you notice, the main point we carved out of that paragraph, which is we listen because listening is a day-to-day activity, answer only one question, and that question is why do we listen? Now let's go to who is a listener. A listener is anybody. The first thing you have to digest there is anybody. They did not say a man or a woman. They did not say a black or a white. Anybody. If you are a human being, you can be anybody. Who is capable of listening to anything said? I will not explain. We've done explanation several times. We are here to read and make sure it sinks into our head. Now, who is capable of listening to anything said, comma, and possibly participate in what he listened to and what is demanded to be done. A listener is anybody who is capable of listening to anything said and possibly participate in what he listened to and what is demanded to be done. First of all, he has the capacity to listen. Not just listen, but listen to whatsoever is said. And he or she can participate in that thing and also carry out the action. Like in this class now, if I say that, who is a listener? That is a question to you guys. If someone is typing there that a listener is this and that, something has happened there. The first thing is that the person heard what I said clearly, and the person was able to understand it. And that understanding will now bet that person trying to type a listener is this and this. What that person is now doing is the person is now participating in what he had, since what he had is a question asking you to do something. So you deciding to type the answer there makes you a participant in what you've listened to. And of course, when your answer is, you are done dropping your answer, you have just fulfilled what is demanded to be done. So we are taking this over. because this is another question from the question bank. This one comes in several ways. They cut listener out most times. That is the common one. Sometimes capable of listening, maybe out of the picture. Now, a listener is anybody who is capable of listening to anything said and possibly participate in what he listened to and what is demanded to be done. A listener is anybody who is capable of listening to anything said and possibly participate in what he listened to and what is demanded to be done. A listener is anybody who is capable of listening to anything said and possibly participate in what he listened to and what is demanded to be done. A listener is anybody who is capable of listening to anything said and possibly participate in what he listened to and what is demanded to be done. A listener is anybody who is capable of listening to anything said and possibly participate in what he listened to and what is demanded to be done. A listener is anybody who is capable of listening to anything said and possibly participate in what he listened to and what is demanded to be done. I have a very short quiz for Ross. So we are going to take a very short quiz now in this same class. As we are there, I'm going to type a quiz now so you guys can answer the quiz. But while I'm typing the quiz, I want you guys to be typing what is okay. So I'm coming. So I think will this work now? I think that's okay. Oh, okay. Let's do this. So you guys can type in the is this still long? Okay, sorry. Okay, let's stop it here. So you guys should answer this poll. I've created a poll in the chat there. Try to answer it. Drop your answer. Just answer the poll. I hope you guys can see the poll. Yes, I'm already getting the responses here. So I'll take it one more time for us to digest it very well. A listener is anybody who is capable of listening to anything said and possibly participate in what he listened to and what is demanded to be done. Now there is something we are going to do. Okay, we have 7 votes and all of you voted for. Okay, we have somebody that chose Lena. No, Lena, okay, please. So now the second, I will end the poll now. That's okay. The second quiz we do is, okay, I have somebody already doing that. Doing it. I will take off this. Now I want every one of us to type the meaning of a listener exactly as it is in the material. Don't open your material. Type it in the chat box now. Exactly where the comma, use comma. I want to see if, I think I read it like 5, 6, 7 times. So type it exactly as it was written in the material. And let's see if you guys have captured it. If you miss anything, it means we will still read it back. This is all about marathon reading. You have to understand. I will release you guys by 12 so that 300 level can start their own by then if we have any one of them available. Yes, I'm waiting for your responses. We need to, so that you are not seeing it on my screen anymore. So guys, we have left off this pool. The question now, who is a listener as it is in your material? Ibrahim, you've done something like that. Has done something like that, but you omitted the comma. Where they put comma, you did not put it, so you have to take it again. You have to take it again. Where there is a comma, you did not put it. What we are trying to do now is memorize. We want to memorize it exactly as it is. Looking at it for a long time. Take it off now and try you to see if you have truly followed. Let's stop answering listener or learner. That one is not relevant to this particular question. Can you define a listener now? Who is a listener according to the material? Not your own understanding, according to the material, the exact thing in the material. Don't open your material, you are doing yourself. If it's jargon you understand, write the jargon. Don't worry, that's why we're reading, so that you correct yourself. I have Ibrahim says, a listener is anybody, comma, who is capable of listening to anything said, comma, okay, we have two comma now, and possibly participate. You missed something there. There was one comma you misplaced, and there was a place that doesn't have comma that you put comma there. But the fact that you even know the word, the comma is not relevant. They will not ask you comma in the exam. I just say you should put that comma for me to know if you truly followed or you were truly looking at the screen when I was reading it. So the fact that you did not miss any word means you are good to go. So, and possibly participate in what he listened to, comma, and what is demanded to be done. In fact, I think Ibrahim deserves one sachet of pure water. So you come to my DM after the class. Now, a listener from Okorocha Mary or Marianne, a listener is anybody who is capable of listening to anything said, comma, thank you, and possibly participate. You're missing something there. In what is said, in what he listened to, in what he listened to. So far, so good. Ibrahim is still the winner. Now, Grace, a listener is anybody who is capable of listening to anything said, and that is comma, and possibly, comma, participate in what he listened to and what is demanded to be done. That looks good. Grace, well done. You have a sachet of water too. A listener, now from Big Ever, a listener is anybody who is capable of listening to anything said and possibly participate in what is demanded to be done. It's like you omitted something there. You omitted something there. So Big Ever, try to get correction from Ibrahim or Grace. Now, Madua Buchi Joy, a listener is anybody who is capable of listening to anything said and possibly participate in what he listened to and what is demanded to be done. A listener, you have a sachet of water too. A listener is anybody. Now from Joy Umo, is anybody who is and possibly participate in what he listens demanded to be done. You're on point, and I think you have a sachet of water to listen to and what. Yes. Now from Khadija says, a listener is anybody who is capable of listening to anything said and possibly participate in what he listened to and what is demanded to be done. Now you guys are just perfect. You've done justice to that. So one more time, let's go back and see it before we go to the next thing we need. Now you can see anything said and possibly participate in what he listened to and what is demanded to be done. Thank you. If you have chewed it, digested it, swallow it, it means something. You have the second question in the question bank. And out of this one alone, 3-4 questions may come out. Out of this statement alone, 3-4 questions may come out. So far, so good. You have 2 main points you've gotten from this material. Main point number 1, we listen because listening is a compulsory day-to-day activity. Main point number 2, a listener is anybody who is capable of listening to anything said and possibly participate in what he listened to and what is demanded to be done. Now, do me a favor, in the chat box, write main point, then write your main point number 1, write your main point number 2. I will give us 3 minutes to do that. Your main point number 1 that you've learned tonight and your main point number 2. You don't need to write your main point number 2. I think you can copy it. You just finished writing it. But write main point number 1 and number 2. So we know what we have gotten so far. The 2 things we've gotten so far is, the first thing is we listen because listening is a compulsory day-to-day activity. And secondly, we've talked about the meaning of a listener. A listener is anybody who is capable of listening to anything said and possibly participate in what he listened to and what is demanded to be done. And now you are good to go. In fact, if you are lucky that they ration several questions across this, you have 4-5 points already, over 70 in your exam. Now, okay, so let's say main point number 1. You guys can just continue with that. Now let's go to another part. Now I won't read the rest of this. I think, is there anything important we need to pick from this place? This unity, although it is possible for a dev. Okay. This unity, although it is possible for a dev. Okay. Another, even if you are deaf, you still listen to sign language. Very important point. A question in exam. One of our questions. Even if you are deaf, you still listen to sign language. Even if you are deaf, you still listen to sign language. Even if you are deaf, you still listen to sign language. Main point number 3, even if you are deaf, you still listen to sign language. Even if you are deaf, you still listen to sign language. Even if you are deaf, you still listen to sign language. I believe we understand what they're trying to say. That even if you are deaf, you still listen to sign language. So we are going to do something now. So even if you are deaf, you still listen to sign language. Even if you are deaf, you still listen to sign language. Even if you are deaf, you still listen to sign language. So let's quickly go through that activity. That is another pull for us. Another pull for us to test if you have understood what I just said now. Even if you are deaf, you still listen to sign language. Even if you are deaf, you still listen to sign language. So there is a pool there. The pool is asking us what did they cut out? If this was a question in exam, what would be your answer? I have so many people saying sign languages. That is where you are missing it. And that is why we are reading, so that you get it right. It must be the exact thing. You are missing it. And that is why we are reading, so that you get it right. It must be the exact thing in the material. The material did not put S in the front of the language. It is sign. Even if you are deaf, you still listen to sign language. So everyone that voted sign languages, no, try to get it right now. The answer is the last option, which is sign language. Even if you are deaf, you still listen to sign language. Now, we have three main points. I'll keep reminding us our main point time to time. Main point number one, we listen because listening is a day-to-day activity. That's main point number one. Main point number two, a listener is anybody who is capable of listening to anything said and possibly